You ready to play?
I think so.
You think Fisty's ready to play?
I think so.
What about Zion?
I don't know.
Hey!
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Hey!
All right.
Why is it good? Sorry.
What? Why did you start singing? What's wrong with you? Have you been watching Rush Hour lately or something?
No.
Okay. Ignoring that weird situation. Gosh, these weeks are all starting to blend together at this point. Last week, you guys subdued an undead cinder, tied him up, came up with a plan for what to do, how to handle him, and after everything was said and done, you guys agreed to head out into the forest following the tracks of Emerald with Brother Paul so that you could possibly find some sort of information or an upper hand to help persuade the New Dawn to assist Cinder in his current situation. After trekking hours and hours at a pretty brisk pace through the forest, you guys were a little worn out. And at some point you discovered what looked like the tracks or destruction left behind by the horde of zombies that you witnessed a few days ago. At this point, Philia and Eric, concerned for the safety of Cinder, wanting to make sure that they were there before the New Dawn was, decided to head back and grab Cinder and bring him back to the group so that you guys could continue on further if you had to do what needed to be done. While all this was happening, Brother Paul, Teak, and Gustav ventured forward following the tracks left behind by these undead, leading you guys to a kind of rocky beach type area with some pretty steep cliffs and such, and stumbling upon about 50 or so undead that were slowly walking into the bay in front of them. Out in the middle of the bay, or a few hundred yards out into the bay, you could see a familiar-looking figure with a large hat. And before you guys could really figure out what to do, Brother Paul pulled out his amulet, started saying some words, doing some weird stuff, and walking down there and screaming at this person in a hat, trying to get their attention. And as he went closer and closer, at first the undead were not noticing him until eventually they did. And about 10 or so of them started to chase him through the rocks, and he fled back into the forest where Gustav and T kind of flanked the situation. After a bit of a scuffle and running and Brother Paul being knocked unconscious, Teak used her new abilities to fly to save Brother Paul and Gustav from a tragic end by the hands of the undead. Meanwhile, back at Wild Meadow, Philia and Eric were constructing a sort of sled out of a wooden door and some wood scraps to use as a kind of transportation method for Cinder. They could tie him to it and drag him through the woods. But while this was happening, Philia was keeping an eye out, and at some point she heard the rumblings of a large group of horses traveling down the road. After a bit of panic and emergency, Philia boarded up the door, and Eric just continued working on his little sled for Cinder. But before he could, well, pretty much right after he finished, there was a loud knock on the door. And after moving some of the stuff out of the way, there was a New Dawn figure at the door, flanked on either side by some other members of the New Dawn. This guy had no helmet, long, kind of wavy, dark hair, and a big, bushy beard, also dark. And he kind of stared at Eric for a moment and looked past him to Philia and Cinder, and kind of looked back at Eric with a smirk on his face, and Eric had nothing to say. And that's kind of where we are now.
That's what I'm drawing right now.
Oh, good.
I tried very hard on his armor.
So, Eric, this kind of large, imposing man stands in front of you. Are you blocking the doorway at all, or are you kind of a few feet back?
I'm not blocking anything. Because
So,
I know I'm going to get my ass kicked.
I'm gonna get my ass kicked. So this man takes a few steps forward and looks back to the other two members, and puts his hand up as in a kind of waving gesture. Leave us. And they both kind of look at each other and turn around with purpose and walk away. This man kind of shambles on in a bit at a mosey on pace, closing the door behind him. What are you doing here?
We were on our way to a different city, and then we came across a village in trouble.
How many of you are there?
He's gonna count on his hands. He's gonna Gustav, Teague, Cinder, Philia, Brother Paul, me. 6?
And where are the others?
They went to investigate the strange happenings.
Have you met a man named Brother Paul?
When he was counting, he would have said Brother Paul.
Oh, okay. Sure. Then instead he looks to you and says, you mentioned a man named Brother Paul.
Eric will nod.
He's with the others.
Eric will nod again. He said you could help us with something.
He kind of looks past you again, then back to you, and he's... What would that be?
Our friend got, he's gonna point over to the zombie. We had Brother Paul stop the process for a while, but then it continued for some reason. He's turned into a monster. We were hoping you guys could help us. We've been waiting here for you guys.
Waiting? How exactly did he not stop the process?
Well, he said he stopped it and then he thought we did it, but we must have forgot. And now he's this. Is it too late for him?
Too late for him for what?
To turn him back
Exactly
in?
what you expect.
Well, we were told you could bring him back and maybe turn him back into a human.
Brother Paul told you this.
He said you might be able to.
Once again, Brother Paul promising more than he can hold up.
I think when Eric hears that, he's just gonna do like a sigh.
He has good intentions, the boy. But just like your friend there, fallen to the undead, Brother Paul makes mistakes occasionally.
Wait, does that mean you can't help us?
Kind of turns his head to the side and breaks eye contact with you for a moment.
We've been waiting here for days.
I didn't exactly say that.
He's gonna like take a sigh of relief.
Are your other friends coming back here?
They went to investigate the zombies or the undead. We were gonna take our friend's body back over there where the others are.
So you weren't planning on coming back here?
We were gonna come back and wait for you. We just didn't want you guys to find the body and think he was a threat and kill him while we were gone.
Suppose that was a smart move. It's probably what we would have done.
That's what we were worried about.
So are they planning on coming back here then?
We were actually heading out to find them, and then we were probably going to come back together with more information about the whatever's happening over there. Or here. Everywhere, to be honest.
I see. And there's no one else left in the village?
There was one other person, but we were following their tracks after they vanished.
And?
We found a weird opening near the ocean, the shore. But that's where we parted ways to come back for our friend.
Can you show me?
The opening? The place?
Aye, where your friends went.
Eric will nod. And then he'll be like, I just need to make sure that we have our friend's body with us. 1 second. And then he'll like go and like make sure that the sled is secure and shit, ready for traveling.
What exactly do you think you're doing?
We're taking him with us.
For what reason?
Oh, right. I guess now that you guys are here, right. He's just gonna like shake his head, like, what was I thinking? And then he's gonna like motion to Philia. Philia.
Yeah.
I think we should go and find everybody else.
Okay. Just give me a second, as Philia's gonna go to the basement and just like tell Willow she'll be gone, but she'll come back real quietly, give him a pat on the head, move back up, kind of like grab a scarf from like downstairs and kind of just like, I don't know, like soak it in water and like put it over Cinder's head again to make it look like I needed to go down there.
Okay. While you're down there, I think Svarg looks to Eric. You think you'll be alright just leaving him here?
Well, we left for a few hours before and he didn't, nothing really happened to him. We tied him up properly. But I guess other people might come across him and possibly try and kill him.
I'll make sure that my men don't do that.
Eric will nod, thank you.
But if your friend cares to stay here, I only need one of you to show me the way.
I think we'd like to go together.
Fair enough.
And then he's gonna wait for Philia to show up.
Yeah, Philia comes back up. How are you guys leaving Cinder? Are you just gonna keep him tied up to the
Tied
post?
up.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So, Svarg kind of puts his hand out for you to lead the way.
When Philia's around, Eric will start like walking.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys leave the barn and head towards the woods, he kind of shouts out at his people to watch the barn, but don't go inside. Keep it safe. And I guess you're leading him the same way that you went.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing any tricks, huh? You're gonna be not gonna be tricksy here, okay?
Nope.
He
All right.
seems nice.
He's not, but we need him to save our friends.
So, Brother Paul, Teak, and Eric then.
Gustav.
Or sorry, Gustav. Jesus. There's too many different names around this place. You guys find yourselves probably a little bit of time later. What exactly are you doing? Have you guys just kind of stayed in the trees, or did you like find a safe place on the ground, or okay, you're kind of held up in a tree for?
Yeah, Teak would have definitely defaulted to a tree. She would have dropped off Gustav on a sturdy enough branch to hold him.
Gone back and gotten brother.
Yeah, collected Brother Paul. So they're all kind of sitting in the same tree. And Teak's probably like cradling Brother Paul.
Scary.
Like,
Okay.
like a
The hag, she's
giant,
kidnapping him.
like a giant scary baby. But yeah, they're probably all in a tree. And
All right.
she's still in her air form at this point, so
Creepy. Real creepy. Gustav, you're kind of plopped out on this tree branch. It's pretty thick and sturdy. And across from you is a weird, wispy air elemental Teak, who's cradling an unconscious Brother Paul in her arms.
It's bloody brilliant, Teak. Thanks for that. I will look. Do we seem to be chased by the zombies, or are we far enough away?
At this point, you're pretty far clear of them. A lot of them wandered off when she started flying away and just kind of disappeared.
I guess we should probably try and get back to the others.
Teak just turns and looks at Gustav and then opens her mouth and lets out a slew of air elemental noises. Just.
Alright, you can nod and stuff, yeah.
She closes her mouth and then nods.
Alright, let's go. And we'll try to climb down the tree and lead us back to the town.
Oh. Okay, well, since you're a climbing expert...
Teak is going to try.
What?
She's cradling Brother Paul, so there's not much she could do. I was gonna say Teak tries to kind of like grab the back of like Gustav like by his armor and then like just make sure that if he like slips and falls, you know, he has a little bit.
Yeah, you can fly, but Gustav can't. You'll try and help him out. Making that climb check there, Gustav.
A 9.
Wow. It's not the most graceful exit from a tree you've seen, Teak, but he like makes it most of the way down, and then like on one of the lower branches kind of stumbles and slips off the branch, but still lands on his feet on the ground.
Okay. Tika picks up Brother Paul and then just gracefully, you know, to almost poetically contrast how Gustav stumbled out of the tree. She just kind of flies out and floats down, makes a descent.
You very gracefully descend from the tree while Gustav stumbles down. And you guys find yourselves on the forest floor. Are you just planning to cut back through the same kind of path you took to get here?
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to be, and Teak may need to, still carrying Brother Paul. She may fly up every now and then to see if she can sort of get a grasp on if they're heading in the right direction. But yeah, pretty much the same way they came.
Okay. Are you guys moving at a fast pace or more steady pace?
Just steady, I think, normal. Yeah, Gustav?
Yeah, I don't think we could move fast even if we wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, you're all weak and wounded and lame.
Pooped.
Sure. I forgot to ask Eric, are you leading at a steady pace or are you taking him on a faster?
Because our characters are exhausted, so I think they'll try and go as fast as they can, but they're also the weakest, the two of the physically weakest. So
Sure. You're going at a steady pace, not to tire yourselves out. Sure. Okay.
if they could go faster, they probably would, but I just want to I'm just imagining that if he's already fatigued, he's just gonna be a dead thing. So going at a steady pace is probably too much for him.
Yeah, that's fine. So you guys are both heading opposite directions on the same path. After another 10 minutes or so, Teak, Brother Paul kind of wakes up in your arms. Are you staying in major air form this whole time, or?
Yeah. So she would probably be, I think she needs to stay in it for minimum an hour. I think it probably has been an hour, but I think for the purpose of the convenience of being able to fly up and kind of get a sense of their surroundings and stuff, Teak would have stayed in major air form.
Okay. So yeah, after a little bit of time, the amount unbeknownst to you, Brother Paul, you kind of awaken in the arms of this wispy air figure looking familiar to Teak, who is kind of cradling you in her arms at this point.
Am I dead?
Teak looks down and shakes her head and then opens her mouth, but then thinks better of it and then closes it and just shakes her head more.
Okay. I think he's just gonna continue to be held by Teak.
Okay.
He's not gonna try to walk. He's just gonna be like, cool. And look around.
Accepted.
Yeah.
I mean, as you look around, you see Gustav kind of walking alongside you guys. But other than that, you're in a dimly lit forest, similar to the one you've been in all day.
Okay, cool. So if he sees Gustav, he'll just say, could you put me down, please?
Tika pauses for a minute as she considers if she thinks he can walk. But after a moment's consideration, she'll kind of be like, all right, and she'll put him down.
Great. Good. And I will channel my positive energy to heal a 2d6 to the peeps that surround me.
Thanks.
Yeah. Whoa, max healing 12 hit points. So what happens, BP? What's the dealio here? You just stop after you get up and like shoot some light out of your hand?
Just stop and then kind of like grab the amulet and say a little prayer of sorts. Thank you for saving me, and just like feel a little bit better. You don't really say anything, but you feel a little bit better.
Nice. Guys get 12 hit points back.
And with that, with Brother Paul being awake and Teak no longer feeling the need that she may need a bolt at any minute, she'll slowly start to fade out of her air form and back into her regular Teak form. Still creepy though, just to...
That was the last time we saw Teak, because she just faded away into nothing.
Yeah, she just disappeared. No, she fades, like she turns back into her regular self.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you witness this weirdness, Brother Paul, but yeah. What you guys doing?
Back take. What was that, Brother Paul?
What?
Feel much better. I thought you did something.
Oh, just said a little thank you to the god.
Oh. Look down at my wounds that are slightly healed. Suppose I owe him thanks as well.
Teak 2. As Teak kind of looks at the acid.
I suppose a apology is in store. Sorry to bring you into that. I was certain that... never mind. Thank you for helping me, both of you.
Did we get information we need to help Cinder?
Well, I don't think we have much, but I suppose news of an undead army heading towards Karen would be something worth bartering with.
Teak nods. They were going into sea, and other side is Cairn?
Right. Karen or Trustrum. It's hard to say, but maybe at least we know the general direction.
Yes. Okay. So we go back and find friends, and then we give information and hopefully help friend, right?
I hope so. I'm hoping it will be enough for you. I'm hoping it'll be enough for me too.
Teak nods. And then be right back out of character. Sorry.
Unbelievable.
Did you get hit up pretty badly there, Gustav?
Not too bad, but yeah, took some hits. Not nearly as bad as you, but surprised I made it. Made it pretty tough stuff.
Yeah, I thought I was gone for sure.
It's really Tika you should be thanking. Enough we're both a bit the dust.
Has she Has she done things like that before? There's turned into an air elemental.
Yeah, a couple times. More so recently, though.
Guess it come in pretty handy.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that, came in. Sorry.
Thank you for saving me, Teak. Gustav was saying that I owe you my life.
Well, Teak was not able to help. Teak tried to get Zombie away, but Teak missed. It was most Teak could do since you tried to help Cinder.
You see, he just has a little smile and a nod. Well, should we head back then?
Teak tired, but Teak think yes, we should head back, find friends.
Gustav, you okay to walk?
Yeah, I'd say so. You?
Yeah, it should be okay.
Okay.
And we
So-
walk.
Yeah, you three continue on your path back to Wild Meadow. And for you guys, it's probably 3 or so hours. Maybe 3 or 4 hours. It's a while for you guys walk. And then for Philia, Eric, and Svarig, it's maybe an hour. You guys haven't gone very far. But at some point through the clearing, Teak, Gustav, and Brother Paul, you guys see some kind of shrouded figures approaching. One real small one kind of normal one, and one a little bit bigger. But in the darkness of the trees and everything, it's hard to fully make them out.
Do they seem to be moving like zombies or more like people?
Definitely more like people.
Right. Teak is going to try to sneak up to see who it is.
Oh. Okay. Make me a stealth check. Wow, 27. A real hot shot here. But not hot shot enough.
Shit!
So yeah, are you like sneaking into the trees and trying to look, or what?
Yeah. So maybe kind of darting from tree to tree and slowly approaching to see who it is.
Okay. So as you're kind of crawling through the trees, I guess Philly and Eric, you guys can roll me perception checks too, if you want. And Eric's dead. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
I was
not-
muted. Why was I muted?
Because no one likes you.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I guess you guys don't see Teak right away, but you hear a kind of brushing of metal as you see Svarig pull the axe off of his back and put it in his hand.
Oh no, I gave him a sword. Fuck.
You gave who a sword?
In the drawing, I gave him a sword.
Oh. Yeah, he pulls the axe off his back and he's holding it in two hands. And you see him look up into the branch and he just kind of says in a booming voice, "Come down from there, or you'll get hurt."
Eric swoons. Oh my god, it's Lord. It's Lord Wyvern Spear. Oh my god.
Teak, upon hearing the unfamiliar voice, she's gonna call out from the trees. Name Teak.
Oh, Eric's gonna call out for her then.
Teak, it's us.
Teak!
You with friend? Everything okay?
Eric will yell back, be like, yeah, everything's fine. Just calm down. And then he's gonna like turn to like the big dude, the big dude, and be like, yo, that's our friend. That's Teak. She's one of us.
You see him kind of lower his axe. He doesn't completely put it away, but he does kind of drop it from the ready position, lower it a little.
Teak is going to jump out of the trees.
Yeah, you can see like he does not take his eyes off of you the whole time you're getting down to the ground.
Eric's gonna like jog over to her. Where's everyone else?
Just little bit there, brother Paul and Gustav. Well, we get in trouble, but
Trouble?
they okay. Teak fly them out, and they okay, and they coming. They be here soon. Teak sneak ahead, cause Teak not sure if it you.
Eric will nod. Let's go. And then he's gonna follow Teak wherever she leads.
She leads them back, and so she'll be like, Gustav, brother Paul, it friends.
Brother Paul and nod and head on over.
Follow Gustav.
Yeah, so you guys come through like a little clearing, and as you do, you see the four of them: Svarig, Teak, Eric, and Philia. And Brother Paul, you see when Svarig sees you, gets like a smirk on his face, and puts his axe up on his back.
Yeah. You see, Brother Paul like kind of stand up a bit straighter, formally addresses High Priest Svarig. I didn't expect you for another day.
Well, we made it a bit faster than usual. It was a pleasant ride. Puts his arm on your shoulder. You look a bit worse for wear.
Oh, nothing to worry about. You guys smile back at him.
So, who are these friends of yours?
So this is Teak and Gustav. They were assisting me, and I suppose you've already met Eric and Philia over there.
We've met, but not officially been introduced.
Oh.
there something that ails you?
I don't know where to start. Shall we? Well, I guess I'll just tell you from where we are
Puts his
currently.
hand up. Why don't you just take it easy for a moment? Come with me.
Right.
He kind of starts walking off a little bit farther into the wood, putting some space in between you and the others. Gustav, Eric, Philippe, you guys see this kind of happen. Somewhat awkward exchange. But after a minute or so, they start to walk off a bit on their own into the woods. What are you guys doing?
Eric's gonna check everyone for injuries.
How healthy are Teak and Gustav right now?
Teak is still a little dinged up, but not awful.
On a scale of 1 to 49, I'm feeling about a 33.
How oddly specific.
Wow. So yeah, they're a little dinged up, but nothing too bad.
I think he might just try and like patch up their wounds or do like a heal check or see if like he won't like give them anything since they look decent, but yeah.
Father's doing that. Where's Cinder? You alright?
Eric will nod. Good thing we went back in time. They arrived just after we did.
Bloody hell, good timing.
Eric will nod. Seem friendly enough for their kind. They're watching over Cinder as we speak.
Alright. Well, there's some good luck, eh?
He's gonna think back to like how he said that Brother Paul like bites off. No, like I don't know, like overestimates his. Like his Brother Paul is a little too hopeful, and he's gonna be like, yeah, I hope so.
Damn. Brother Paul, you're kind of pulled away to this corner of the forest, and Svarig's smile kind of fades at this point a bit as he turns to you. So what exactly is going on here?
Well, it seems that this whole town has been overcome by some kind of undead plague. Well, not really a plague, though. Turns out it's a bit more alchemical in nature.
Oh god, he's spilling the beans.
Alchemical.
Right. I didn't see it for myself, but the people I was with told me the night before I arrived that they saw a strange person over by the cemetery that was injecting some kind of fluid into these corpses. Brought them back to life as seemingly undead. And then throughout the nights that we were here, we had to defend ourselves a few times, and these creatures did seem to extract this kind of green substance.
Defilers. Defilers of the Shining One's will.
It would appear so. We tried to track one of the last survivors here. Was a resident of the town, I believe. I think he just went mad. He witnessed his whole town perish in such circumstances. I figured he'd run off to his doom. However, we did track the tracks through the woods that way, and kind of points in the direction they came from. Where we found the edge of the land where it meets the water, and did indeed see that person that they had mentioned that was doing this, what it seemed, out on the river, or on the lake rather. He seemed to be controlling this horde of undead as they all kind of immerged themselves into the water following his raft.
So he led them to the water.
Yes.
And they were just walking.
Yes, that's right. They were just following the boat that he was in. It was just a single person.
How many? Which direction were they headed?
Direction-wise, it's hard to predict. It could either be Karen or Trustrum. My gut feeling tells me more towards Karen, though.
I would have to agree with that gut feeling.
It was...
You say it's completely alchemical in nature?
It seemed to be. I mean, from what...
How exactly do you know?
I'm going by what these people have told me, information-wise. It seems to be alchemical, from what they saw.
Have you seen anything from them that would give you an inclination that they're familiar in the ways of alchemical doings?
Not entirely, no. But
so you're just taking their word for it.
From my own experience with such things, it doesn't appear to be magical doing. I guess call it a... I don't know, it's... Everything that what they've said seems to align with what I've been experiencing. I have no reason to doubt them.
This is important news. Sure you remember the attacks in Far Hill?
Right.
If they were attacking there, and it's alchemical in nature again, you know who just went to Cairn? Coincidence? I wouldn't say so.
Yes, I agree.
Rollo sent you here.
Yes, he did. He wanted me to investigate this area, keep an eye on them.
Did he say anything else?
Not to me, no.
So these are the ones that he told you to keep an eye on?
Yeah, yes.
And what do you have to report?
Well, they have remarkable abilities. That much is true. The tall, lanky one can certainly throw down with his sword over there.
I see. I
man
expect a
squints.
full report from you when we get back to Wild Meadow. Is there anything I need to worry about in the meantime?
No, I don't think there's any threat around here anymore.
And the one last thing. What exactly did you promise them on my behalf?
Well, I didn't make any promises. I simply mentioned that I was here to help, and that if you thought you might have the capabilities to help their friend who was killed defending the town here.
You see his eyes narrow up a bit. And he doesn't grab you by the collar, but he does grab you
Yeah,
a little.
Paul
a
kind of
little
looks
roughly
down at his feet and
by
knows.
the shirt. Yeah, the cloth of your robe, and he grabs you a bit and pulls you in a little bit.
Can we see this?
Probably, yeah. It's not making any attempt to hide it. They're not that far away. Where did you hear about such things?
Yeah, I only heard rumors and whispers within
Ooh.
the church.
Who said it?
It was just things that have been said that seem to be almost like common knowledge amongst the recruits.
No names, eh, Paul? Eh?
He just kind of shakes his head.
For an apprentice of mine, you still have quite a bit to learn. I'm afraid you may have bitten off more than you can chew once again.
He just kind of... I apologize, High Priest.
He kind of loosens his grip on your robe a little. And better hear some things that I am pleased with in your report when we get back to town. For your sake. Can't protect you anymore, Paul. Traveling with Brawlos now. You're not under my care.
Right.
Fine then. You stay here a moment. I'll have a word with your new friends. Understood?
He nods.
Glad to see that the Shining One has blessed you. That you're safe. Just gives you a little nod and turns and you guys can kind of see this interaction play out, and you see him approaching the four of you now, I guess. Yeah, four of you.
Yes.
What's Brother Paul look up? He's just kind of got his head down.
Yeah, I guess as he kind of, as Svarg is kind of stepping away, he just kind of mentions to him, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. I am almost certain I would have perished back there.
He stops for a moment when he's walking, and he doesn't turn around, but he turns his head to the side, pauses for a moment, and then keeps walking. And you guys can see it's a little bit of a different Svarg walking back towards you than the one that you had seen previously.
Eric shit his pants just to be prepared.
But yeah, he walks up to you all and kind of looks you over. So, you saved Brother Paul? Is that right?
Eric can look at the rest of the guys.
Yes, but brother Paul also helped us too.
In what way?
Well, when he first come in, and we were hurt because we had fought. Well, the zombies, we fought them, and we lost our friend Cinder, but Brother Paul helped us then, and he also promised to try help Cinder too.
And did he succeed?
Well, that depends on you.
I see. So what am I supposed to get in return if I am to aid you with your friend?
Well, what? Maybe we can help, and Cinder also, he our friend, he's strong too, and maybe we can help since we know they may be going to Cairn or Trustrum. Maybe we come help you guys if you help Cinder. And that's why we try to get information for you, but we not learn much because they had already leave.
What information do you have for him?
Imagine Brother Paul's already let you know, but that man in the hat seems to be able to lead them, at least somewhat. They went off east, possibly towards Cairn, through the water.
That's it?
Well, also when we were in Graveyard, this before Brother Paul come, hundreds of them follow him. He was in Graveyard, and Gustav see more than Teak did, but he was in big group and they not touch him or attack him, and when Teak tried to get close, the man disappeared and he walked away leading them.
Hundreds, you say?
Yes.
And how many did you see at the waterfront?
Maybe Tika looks to Gustav as she kind of tries to conceptualize numbers in her head.
There was a few, not quite as many as we've seen before, but might have already been in the water by the time we got there.
Yes, maybe not hundreds, but still many. We had group come and follow us back into woods. That's how, well, we got into some trouble. And she's gonna show, because she's partially healed but not currently, kind of where the goo had hit her as she was flying. I assume it made a mark on her skin.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks it over and he looks somewhat intrigued. What else can you tell me about this figure?
Just that he have a large hat and they seem to just answer to him and only to him. And we have Arm, right? Do we still have Arm? She turns and looks at
Eric is just gonna look at Teak for a second. And then he's gonna look at the big guy and he's like, we have an arm.
And what have you learned from the arm, if anything?
Whatever they injected into it, it flows through its body. I'm not sure what the... Eric will nod.
It's an injection, is what you're saying.
Eric will nod.
See. How did you learn this information?
We took one of the bodies and cut it open.
And you could tell from that it was an injection.
We also... No, oh no, I thought you meant the other one. No, he was like, we saw him. Gustav was there as well. We were all there.
Seems like important information.
Eric
Are you
will nod.
implying that it's not of a magic nature?
Eric will...
Well, Man was able to, when Teak was running toward Man, before he appeared in Crowd of Zombie, Man was able to disappear and reappear back in middle of Zombie.
So what does that mean?
Teak not know magic, but Teak never know anyone to disappear and reappear like that.
Kind of looks down at the ground for a moment, looks back up. So you're familiar with alchemical concoctions? You studied this one?
Eric's gonna say it was just pumping through his body.
So there's nothing else you can tell me about it?
I'm not sure what it is.
It's green, Teak offers and trying to help.
He completely ignores Teak's comment on it being... and he's kind of just looking at Eric a little bit intently now. So, information you have to offer me is theories and guesses. And what exactly am I supposed to do for you in return?
We were hoping to get more information by coming here, but I guess we failed and he's gonna look at the others.
He kind of nods. We only find out where they may be going next. But maybe because Cinder's strong, and like Teak say, maybe we can, if you bring Cinder back, we can all go help. Maybe since we know where they might be going, since we fight them before.
He looks over you. Fuller four of you are supposed to help fight off hundreds of undead.
Well, with Cinder, that would make us. Teak pauses as she tries to count.
Eric's gonna be like, five.
And maybe we can not just help fight, but also help with, because they're different type of zombie, and maybe if we help tell them what different type of zombie, like the fast one and the slow one and the one who spit, we help prepare other people to help fight with what we know.
And what do you expect in return?
Well, we just want our friend back.
Look, we just heard that you might be able to bring our friend back.
And Brother Paul told you this.
Eric won't say anything for a while, but then he'll, nod.
What else has Brother Paul told you?
Eric wasn't really paying attention to what my Brother Paul was saying.
He say he want to help us and friend, and he tell us about the shining one, and then he got real angry with us and told us that we should go look for more information because we were kind of scared. But yeah.
What brought you all to Wild Meadow in the first place?
We were hoping to start a caravan selling goods.
How do people as unique as yourselves end up wanting to start a caravan business?
We're actually just passing by. We were going to visit the town where Cinder's parents are, and we thought it might be smart to get some materials and gain some extra gold while in the middle of our travels.
You're quite well spoken for a dwarf.
Thank you.
Just gets a big smirk on his face again. Interesting. And what if I can't bring your friend back?
Is there any way you can at least stop him from being one of these monsters?
You mean letting him die in peace?
Eric's gonna look over at the rest.
I mean, what? Saving him. If you don't know how we can do that, we'll find something else.
So you plan to take this undead friend of yours around on the road looking for someone to help?
If we could change him back and preserve his body, we could have more time to look for someone.
It looks like he's thinking for a moment. You all met Branos, did you not?
Is he the guy we met at the road? He'll look like to the rest of the guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him.
You mentioned that one of your friends was not doing well.
Not with.
They had a bite of some sort. He directed you to the New Dawn's aid.
I think that was Cinder, wasn't it, guys?
Not
Actually-
Cinder.
I
Teak
think it was.
think it was. And then she turns and she looks at Philia.
Well, she's in a different form right now.
This is just like what happened to Arngrim and freaking Crack. You do not look at the person who is in trouble. Oh my god.
Celia's not in her form right now.
You look pretty fine to me. May I see the wound?
um, um,
Cinder's
what
the one we're worried about right now.
We could have lied and been like, it's in a very private area.
You seem nervous. Is there something wrong? It'll only take a moment, then I can help your other friend.
Celia's gonna look to Eric for some help.
Oh yeah, look at me. You guys want to talk when you don't have, like, every other time, but now when you need something difficult, you just look at me, huh?
Yeah.
Eric's gonna look over at the captain and be like, we think the bite is fine. It's just Gustav at this point. Oh, Gustav Cinder. And he'll be like, I'm a doctor and I've been treating the wound.
Make me a bluff check, homie.
I have a doctor. I have been treating the wound. Sorry, guys. We're this is why I don't lie. I clicked on it. Please. Sorry, guys.
Nice. Carlos described the wound to me in some fashion. I have no doubts that you're a doctor of some sort. But some wounds only the blessings of Sudar can heal.
Oh, the boss music is playing.
Yeah, the
Please.
music swelling as soon as he said that was perfect.
Guys, I can't help.
Well,
I can't like just be like, oop, let me get out of disguise right now. Sorry, I've been lying to you the whole entire time.
well, Teak recognizing that Philia does not want to speak up will say, well, maybe Teak, because Teak got scratched pretty bad by Wolf. Then she's gonna kind of like lift up her shirt and show the claw marks if they're still there.
It's quite the wound. I'm afraid Bralos described specifically the bite. Maybe some sort of infection with it.
You mean the thing that turned Cinder?
Embrace it. Don't be afraid.
Shut up, pony boy! Get out of here!
Brother Paul. That's what Brother Paul is actually whispering to us.
He's
It's like
using
my-
message to send into Teek's brain.
Brother Paul knows Teak's the one most likely to crack you.
Yeah. You're saying that your friend was bitten before you encountered Bralos. You found the undead that far.
No, it was by this magical dog.
It was Wolf. Wolf and almost like human.
And they came with this man.
He nods, kind of slowly. I'm afraid what you ask for is not an easy task. It does not come without a price.
And what would the price be?
A price that is hard to put into words.
It's
But
not money, is it?
not money at all. As we head back to Wild Meadow, I recommend you all think long and hard about who might be paying the price. Brother Paul,
He kind of looks up, looks over.
we should head back to town.
Gives a nod and like walks over to the group.
Okay. You can see that Brother Paul's a little bit more quiet now, I guess. Looking a little bit more uneasy. But unless you guys have anything else to say or do,
I'd like to discuss stuff.
Svarig starts walking back towards the town.
I would like to discuss.
What does he mean by price?
Eric's gonna shrug, but he's gonna say, I'll do it.
We don't know what it is yet. Plus,
Well-
after he said we might have to pay the price, he said your name, Brother Paul. You know something about it?
I think he was just calling him. He couldn't possibly mean brothers. Paul's gonna pay the price for our friend.
I don't know. I don't know much about bringing the dead back to life.
Oh,
Reggie doesn't like this.
Doesn't like the
Reggie's
folk
like, this is a
music.
bad deal. Abort.
Yeah, Reggie.
Yeah, he knows.
What if?
Well,
What if it a really big price?
Eric's just gonna say, it doesn't matter. You wanted this, right?
I'll be right back.
But not if. What if it like? And then she.
I'm sure he'll tell us what it is beforehand.
She leans in to the. She leans to Eric and she kind of whispers in Eric's ear. What if it like the price Destrian had to pay?
He'll probably tell us beforehand. He'll give us time to think about it. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
He not feel good. He say it not easy and it take big price and
It'll be fine, Teak. We'll just pay it. There's no point. We've been waiting for so many days. I don't think we have much more time. And then he's gonna like start walking after Mr. Struggard. I keep forgetting their name. I'm so sorry, Mr. Struggard. Mr. Stargold.
Starboard.
Jesus, Star Gold?
I'm very bad at names.
Sorry, Svarik, you're now Star Gold.
Yeah.
Teek's gonna start thinking seriously to herself as they start to walk back. She's gonna think to herself,
That's a first.
if she's willing for any of her friends to pay the same price Destrian paid, and if she doesn't want them to, then will she have to? That's what she thinks to herself.
Damn.
Follow Eric.
Good thing she's thinking about it herself, because like I would not want to know what Teek's thinking at all.
Okay. So you all kind of quietly head back towards Wildmed. And we'll break there for a little bit.
Cool.
10 or 15.
Be right back.
I did a cool drawing of Svarik.
Sweet. I'll look at it when I get back, because I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll post it now. I'm trying so hard to add detail and like random shit into his costume. I think I'm doing a better job than usual, and I even made him look like an actual adult.
Who looks like an
Prepare
adult?
your eyes. My drawing of Svarik. I'm trying extra hard.
I don't like Smart. It's a good drawing, but why did you spend so much time on the enemy?
Because I have a thing for old man characters, okay? I just really like them. They're so wise and kind.
I know.
Why is
Eric's
maybe
got another man
kind?
crush.
I do have another man crush. Be my father, Svarik. Be my father. And then he's gonna turn around and he was like, I was your father. We have the same colored hair. And great handsome looks.
Philia comes back as a dwarf. Brother Paul's just like, yep, that's Philia. I don't see any difference.
I made him look so handsome. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
He's over here trying to out me.
Teak over here trying to out everybody.
I'm just trying to be small and unnoticeable.
I'm just trying not to lie. Yo, I'm so happy with my drawings today. Oh my freaking god. They're so fucking beautiful. Oh my god. Ah, they're so pretty. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Now Visick can't say that I don't try and draw his armored characters. Now I can't say armored characters are difficult to draw, because I will try. Yes, that's right. I'm going to be gushing over my own drawings for the next 5 minutes. 10 minutes. 20 minutes. Oh my god, he looks so cool. I'm so happy. And I made his armor from my imagination, and I tried to make it all sun-like because of the sun thing that they, you know, that weird vibe they have going on. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna try and roll real fast and go smoke before the break is over. Just another ordinary demigod. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, I just want Visick's approval. Oh my god.
The PlayStation 5 reveal event
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Good to hear, Brother Paul.
Mm-hmm. Philia doesn't want to get rid of her lycanthropy bite? No?
Maybe I should try that once I don't have tree wings. I don't know. That just seems like a red herring to be like,
Not
I actually have a.
not tempted by the devil?
I was told to go to Holy Land to get the thingamabobs to get the wolfbane. So, I will wait.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
I
Thank
don't think
you.
I don't think that he can heal my lycanthropy right now.
I think we should just like convince everything or confess everything, like totally transition to members of the New Dawn.
Yeah, you can all
No.
chant around the fire that I'll be burned at.
What? No.
Yeah, see, the issue is we have one alchemist, which is bad. We have one person from another world, another plane with a
Which is
beehive.
not the best.
We have one person with a demon arm.
We have one person that doesn't take any baths.
I think
That's why.
you are all underestimating the tolerance of the church.
And we have
a
one Brother
changeling
Paul.
hag.
Yeah, we have a brother Paul. He's our in.
And we have a lying. We have a stealing thief. That is our 5 party members minus Brother Paul. 2 of which are highly flammable.
You know what, Fido? You're so racist. You didn't even include our buffalo.
That buffalo is a part of Philia. Thank
So
you
it's not
very
its own
much.
creature? You're so rude.
We are one unit.
You people make me sick.
Just like Pip is a part of me, okay?
Pip is a duck. You're not a manticore. I'm so proud of my own drawing today. Oh ho ho ho.
It's really good.
Thanks. Look at how handsome he is. Oh my god, look at that beard.
You can all look at that when he burns all of us to a crisp.
Father, why would you burn me? I love you. I'm your long lost son, Eric Wyvenspear.
How's Wyvern Spear doing? Is he
Okay, I'm
okay?
back.
It's actually kind of close to the imagery that Svarg is based on.
Mm-hmm.
The facial,
Who's he based on?
the facial features.
What the hell's going on around you?
Talking about how
I'm
great
admiring my own art.
Zion's artwork is.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty good. That looks a lot like him.
Visick is smiling. Do you like his headband, bro?
Oh yeah, sweet headband.
Keep his luscious locks out of his face, you know what I mean?
Dang. Is Abel back, or is that guy still cooking eggs?
I'm here.
How are your eggs?
I'm not eating eggs right now.
Yogurt?
Nope. Those were earlier today.
Damn.
Oatmeal?
No, I haven't had oatmeal in months,
I
if
just
not
bet. I'm
years.
so sorry.
Lettuce.
No, I probably should eat more leafy greens, though, to be honest.
Cocaine.
That's the stuff.
Ding, 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 ding. Got it right.
Now I'm ready to play.
Nice. Okay, so we're all here except for Zion then? Vista, you're here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess since no one likes Zion anyways, we'll just wait a second and see if she comes back.
It's literally right here, and then she just disappears.
No, I'm here. I was just watching a video. Like, it
Oh,
was a 5-second thing.
I'm about to watch a video of you getting fucking stabbed multiple times.
Please
Oh,
don't stab me.
but
Okay.
by who?
My brother
sister.
Paul.
I bet if
Knew
you
we
paid Zion's sister enough money, she'd stab Zion multiple.
Oh yeah, of course you would.
Like $30, probably do it.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So you guys have your discussion and you follow a short distance behind Svarig back to Wild Met. And at this point, you're not incredibly far away from the town, but as you keep approaching Wild Meadow, you start to see pillars of smoke and stuff coming from the town.
Oh god, they're burning everyone out there.
But yeah, as you guys get closer and closer, the smoke kind of thickens, and at this point you can smell some not so pleasant smells. Maybe somewhat familiar to you guys, as it's the scent of burning flesh.
Eric's gonna stop in his tracks for a moment and then continue walking.
Okay. And yeah, Svarg doesn't hesitate or anything like that. And as you guys clear the forest, you can see kind of on the outskirts of the town, they've erected two kind of large pyres, and they're gathering up any corpses or anything left on the ground, and they're just throwing them into these large pyres, just burning them all. And a lot of the new Dawn members kind of give you guys a glance as you come through the trees with Svar. And as you walk through town, he gives nods and is looking at his men, making sure that they're doing everything right. And at some point he just kind of boasts out to everyone in the area. They're all doing the work of the Shining One. Keep it up. Cleanse the land. Burn away the sin with his fire.
Eric's gonna cover his mouth. He looks a bit nauseous.
But he continues walking on, and eventually you guys find yourselves back at the barn where there's two New Dawn members posted guard outside the door of the barn. And once Svarag arrives, he walks up to them, Looks like he kind of whispers something in their ears, and they disperse. It looks like they go about their business. And Svarig opens the door to this barn and puts his hand as for you guys to enter.
Eric's gonna run in.
I follow.
We all
Okay. You all are herded into the barn.
Brother Paul enters last.
Yeah, brother Paul enters behind all of you, followed by Svarig, who closes the door behind.
Okay, they followed us.
And then they
Just lock
quickly
us in.
open the door and go outside and bar the door and set the barn on. No, I'm just kidding.
I happen to be fireproof. I'm a teeth. Oh, never mind.
Wrong game.
It's never the wrong game. She's alive, I tell you.
So yeah, you guys find yourselves back in the barn. The town is kind of smoky and smelly, the air filled with the stench of rot and charred flesh. And there in the barn rests, not so restfully, a undead, gagged and snarling, wiggling around.
Eric's gonna go and stand.
Yep.
And then he's gonna turn to face Svarig.
Your friend's not looking very well.
Well, you know,
Not exactly. Why don't you tell me what happened?
we were fighting the undead and he didn't make it.
He was killed in the town.
Eric will nod.
Brother Paul, did you see that?
I did not see it, no. I was a bit late. I came after the battle. But there were many, many undead corpses that littered the town that night.
And is he the last one? Are there any other bodies around in this?
There were no more attacks, so I assume he's the last one.
What about the arm you spoke of?
Oh, he'll like rummage through his bag and pull out the arm. Like he's probably like wrapped it up or some shit, and he'll like untie it open and like hold it out.
Yeah, Svarig takes it from rather abruptly if you're holding it out.
Eric's gonna just hand it over and then like look at Teak. You bitch, you lost me my materia!
There can be nothing left of this. Not allow this to be recreated. And he walks outside with it. He doesn't say anything. He just exits the barn with the arm.
Eric's just gonna sigh.
Well, just adding it to the fire.
There was a reason I was keeping it.
Looks a bit well, plenty of other chances.
Eric's just gonna sigh again.
you still have...
Eric's just gonna look at Teak and just like shake his head.
Teak nods. Teak not know he would take your arm.
You should have never told him in the first place. He's gonna look over at Brother Paul and be like, you understand I needed that arm to figure out what it was, right?
We're gonna cut him today.
Don't look at me, I didn't tell him anything.
Today.
No, he's just trying to like convince him that he's not like making the zombies. He was keeping it for like research.
Is he
Oh.
a pastry? I think so.
He just kind of gives you a nod.
Yeah,
After a minute or two, Svarog re-enters the bar. So, have you decided who's going to pay the price?
What exactly is the price?
Everything has a price. To give life, you have to take a little away.
Then I'll do it. I'm pretty tough.
Eric's just gonna shake his head. I already agreed.
No offense, Eric, but I'm a bit tougher than you.
I don't think strength is gonna change it.
Well, I think it will. I Priest Svarog. You think it'll matter?
No,
See,
as long as you're healthy.
I
I'll do
think
it.
I am. Eric, you've
Gustav.
already gone through enough, alright? I haven't given back yet. That time I did, I feel.
Eric's gonna shake his head. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I already volunteered.
I mean, looks like we have an impasse here.
Well, I'll let you all figure that out. Like some other things to take care of as well. He walks over to Cinder, who's wiggling and writhing, just like that. He's all gagged, and he pulls out an amulet very similar to Brother Paul's. And he clutches it in one hand and puts his other hand on the forehead of Cinder and starts saying some words. While you guys fight over who's making the sacrifice.
It's
He's doing
me!
Well, doesn't seem like that decision's been made yet.
Oh no, that's them arguing in the background.
Yeah.
That's how Eric sounds when he's fighting to be the volunteer.
Why are you so insensitive, Eric?
He's just gonna look at Gustav and then just be like, we'll talk about it all, right? We have some time.
Teak. Think it should be Teak.
Eric will shake his head. No, Teak.
Teak. Well, what Teak thinking? Teak. Not sure if Teak okay with any of you paying except Teak.
That's alright, Teak. Yeah, you're not the best thinker. It's fine. Just leave it to us.
It all seems like we want to be noble in this, and it's very nice, but to put it bluntly, Teak, I feel you're our best bet at fighting these things right now, and I'd rather not go messing with our secret weapon if that's alright.
Teak do nothing. She just always
Saved
fly
Brother
and
Paul and I just hours ago, T.
yeah, and Gustav, you throw sword and chop down a whole line of them. Teak,
Look, we have time. We can talk about this in a moment. Let's just see what he's doing. Eric trying to make sure that they don't have this discussion while the guy's in the room.
I mean, looks like he's doing the same thing as what Brother Paul did, yeah? Look over to Brother Paul.
But it's different. He's a high priest.
I understand that this is your friend and you're very close, it seems, and I can't help but feel that if there is something that needs to be lost, then maybe it should come from me. After all, Teak, I owe you my life.
Eric will shake his head. No, this is between us.
I mean, I think Brother Paul's been very generous here.
But this is Cinder's our friend.
Teak. Well, Teak Teak saved you, Brother Paul, but you had also saved us, so you not need to feel like you in debt.
Eric's proud that she knows what debt means.
Yeah. I just, as soon as they said that, I was like, oh, Teak must have heard that from Eric.
Brother Paul breathes a sigh of relief.
Teak read an economics book in Karen.
Eric was talking to her about mortgages and when she wants to buy her own house.
Oh.
Then I leave it with you.
Eric's gonna nod and look over at Gustav. And then he's gonna glance down at Gustav's arm and then back at Gustav's face. I think you should leave it to me.
Still don't know why you want this so bad, Eric, but alright.
Eric's going to smile. Gotcha, bitch!
Throws another firebomb at me.
Eric looks over at Teak. This is how you increase people's debt to you.
Teak just feel like she have an idea of what gonna happen, and Teak want anyone to, but Teak also want Cinder to come back. So Teak still think it should be Teak.
It's fine, Teak. Just let me do this.
Let me unzip things.
Sorry, I was zipping up my laptop case. This is my
What if
body
we
bag.
all?
Let me just crawl inside first.
What if we all just gave up a fraction of our lives?
Sounds expensive.
We split it 25, 25, 25, 25.
Well, Philia hasn't offered, so
Oh, that's true.
Well, do I need to get out of this disguise, and how will this affect my previous deal with God?
With God. with you.
With evil god, like, can I just be like, hey, evil god, I know I promised you my life, but like, can I give this other part of me to good god? How many
You
people
don't know
must
if
I
he's a
kill
good
for
god.
this balance to work out?
That's all up to you.
And you're a werewolf. This is just
Yeah, like, out of everyone, I think Philia's the weakest right now.
I might cover this, Varg.
Yeah.
Does that have to be one of us, or can we sort of share the burden?
Afraid things like this aren't exactly a science.
So it's just gotta be just one.
That's right.
Alright.
Eric, could we maybe have a moment? Just
Sure. I'll give you a moment. Brother Paul, come with me. And you see when he stands up, his hand's like no longer glowing, but Cinder's head is just kind of down, and he's not moving anymore.
Brother
But,
Paul looks towards Cinder and then you see his eyes kind of open a little bit. And then he follows.
Okay. So yeah, Svarig and Brother Paul wander outside. Leaving you four alone to discuss.
Eric's gonna wait for him to like close the door.
Yeah, he exits. They're gone.
He's gonna breathe a sigh of relief. My god, that man is scary.
Teak. Teak think that well, Teak think that maybe same price Destrian had to pay.
No, I think it's the same price that Lord Bridenspear had to pay. Look, I'm not exactly the strongest one out of us. If this does take something, we need you guys to be stronger. Plus, we don't know how it's going to affect Gustav's control over his own freaking arm. He can barely control it as it is.
Then it should be Teak. Teak strong.
No, we need you to fight those things.
We need you too.
I'm not exactly on the front lines.
But you help us when we're hurt.
But I don't need to be throwing swords with all my strength to do that.
If you're worried about my power getting weak and look down at the arm, you might not have to worry about that. Seems I've lost whatever I had.
It's not that, it's just. We don't know if you can even control it right now. If this thing affects your strength, and then you
You're
can't
not
control it even more.
Eric, there's nothing to control. It's gone.
We don't know that. It's been back more than once. Whenever it chooses to.
I mean, I guess it could come back, but normally when I'm in a situation where I need it, it's always been there. Not this time.
Just let me do this.
Are you being honest with your reason? You feel that for our team, it's best if you do it because the rest of us are more important.
Eric will pause for a second, be like, yeah.
and us saying that's not true is not enough.
It is enough.
Well, then, let Teak or I handle this then.
No, just
So it's not enough then.
no. Wait, what did you mean by not enough?
You said the reason you're doing this is because you think you're the least important, right? So you can take a hit and it won't hurt the team so much.
Eric will nod.
But we're telling you it's not true. We do need you.
Yeah, but you don't need me in the same
You-
way you need yourselves.
No, you also. Maybe you also only one who have chance to figure everything out. Teak not no. Teak not.
If I might confess something here, I do have slightly selfish reasons for wanting to do this. If I give up some of this power, if it is still here, maybe I will be able to control the baby better. Maybe it'll be gone entirely.
But you don't know if you're giving up that or you're giving up your control over it.
No, we don't know anything, Eric, but for me, it's a potential upside. That's my
It's also
point.
got a massive potential downside.
As for everyone, we don't know what this is.
But I don't need to control my. I don't have anything like that I need to worry about.
Neither does Teak.
Say we all keep together here, and we run across something too dangerous. One of us goes down again. New Dawn's not around to help. Eric, you're our best shot at bringing that person back. And if you're not up to snuff,
But this isn't going to make me any dumber.
now you're assuming things as well.
Look,
Listen, the longer we argue, the longer Cinder has to wait. I've made my point. I still think it's best if I do it. But if you're so insistent, I guess I will back out of this one.
Ergonod, I am insistent.
But Teak not wanna lose anyone.
You're not going to lose anyone. It's fine.
What happened to Destrian?
It'll be fine, Teak.
But he say balance. And that it a big price. Teak think that price is life for life. And not just strength or ability.
Why do I feel like it's a lifespan?
I think that it's clear that the ring and how Eric was revived are two different sources of what they consider a fair trade.
Eric's just gonna laugh. Well, think about it this way. If it is part of my life, won't that motivate me more to find a solution? And he'll like laugh awkwardly.
What if it's just life for life? You gone, Cinder come back.
I feel as though he wouldn't do that.
I feel like if the price was that big, we would have known by now.
Teak falls silent, unable to shake the feeling of dread.
Eric will just smile. So we've agreed then?
No, but would Teak ever be able to convince friend no?
Eric will just shake his head. I'm afraid not.
She kind of closes her eyes and sits on the floor, exhausted by the day, because they have not had any rest yet. Teak, not like this. If it life for life. Well, Teak will have to find way to bring Eric back then, and then Teak will hit Eric.
Eric's just gonna laugh. We'll make sure. We'll ask him beforehand. Just to make sure.
Teak just kind of sighs and nods.
Alright. I'm gonna go find him then.
Okay, so Eric heads to grab Svarg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While that conversation's going on, Brother Paul, Svarg kind of pulls you outside with him and looks to you, Brother Paul.
High Priest.
How do you feel about all of this?
What do you mean?
How do you feel about it?
I feel somewhat foolish. I see I was in no position to make such promises to these people.
That's what you see. That's what you understand. But how do you feel?
I feel that if something could be done, then I think it would be beneficial. These people have good capabilities. Perhaps they could aid the church.
So you only see them as a means to an end?
Well, I've not known them that long. I have no real loyalties to them, I suppose.
I understand that. But once again, you're thinking about this too logically. How do you feel about them? Do you think they deserve to have their friend back? Do you think they're worthy of having their friend back? Can we rely on them?
When I arrived here in the middle of the night, there had just been a great battle that took place. That much was clear. And from what I could gather, all of them, I suppose, all risked their lives and put their lives on the line to help the remaining people that were in the church. Unfortunately, they all perished, but one. So, from my perspective, it wasn't something they had to do, really. They could have just as easily taken their cart and continued on and left this hellhole. But they did try.
Would you have done the same? Even if you know you could have ended up as their friend?
Yes, I would have. I think I did already. Back at the water.
Good. Puts his arm on your shoulder. You're one of the good ones, Brother Paul. Don't forget that as things get tougher, as time goes on. Not all is as it seems in the new dawn. You're not gonna like what I have to say, but you shouldn't be here for this.
But I've wanted to learn this for so long.
This is not a gift, Paul. It goes against the will of Sudar. But sometimes you have to do things that aren't always following the will of the gods. You have to look at the bigger picture. You shouldn't be a part of this, Paul. I don't want you to tell anyone about what you've seen or heard.
Right, okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Doing this for your own good.
Shall I... Where shall I head?
Rest up for now in the town. You look like you've been through the ringer.
That bad, huh?
That bad. Just remember, when you go back with Bralos, don't let him take away the parts of you that make you.
Gives a nod.
Now get out of here.
Then he leaves.
Okay. Yeah. Brother Paul walks away, and a few minutes later, Eric opens the door. Eric, you find Svarg just kind of standing there. He's by himself at this point.
Where did Brother Paul go?
Brother Paul had some business to attend to. It's not an issue.
No,
We'll
it's
keep you
just-
back.
You're not
Where
there.
did you come from?
Come, stay
Oh,
inside,
I'm not there?
clown. Yeah. Eric went outside to get Svarog. You're
Oh.
hanging around in the circle jerk with everybody else. Is that a problem?
No, I was just curious.
All right. Have you discussed everything you need to?
Eric nods.
All right
I
then.
have a question.
Yeah, what's that?
If we pay the price, will one of us die?
I can't say for certain. I can tell you it's not impossible.
Eric will nod. We've agreed that I'll pay it.
Fair enough. Lead the way then.
Eric will look around for like Brother Paul for 1 second, then he'll be like, oh yeah, right. And then he'll like walk back inside.
Yeah, Svarog follows you inside.
What? Brother Paul, is Brother Paul okay? Where?
He's dead.
Brother Paul's fine. Just had some business to attend to.
Okay. Uh, the price, it's not life for life.
Eric
Is
will
it-
shake his head. No, it's not. It'll be fine.
Oh, you ask him?
Eric will nod.
Does Teak believe Eric?
That's up to you. I don't know. You tell me.
Can Teak roll something? I don't think we have insight, do we now?
No, there's a check for it, but I'm more curious to know what Tika believes rather than a dice roll.
Right.
So I don't know. You tell me. Do
I'm
you think
thinking.
Eric's like?
No, I think Teak the character would probably believe him. Yeah.
Mistakes?
I know.
Never trust an Eric. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, makes
Eric's
sense.
are the
to me.
shadiest kind.
Yeah. Yeah. So, after that, Svarog kind of claps his hands together. So, you all chosen Eric to be the one.
Eric will nod. Yep.
There's a few things we have to go over first. First of all, I'm afraid our business isn't quite concluded with just. I appreciate you going to look and find, keep track of this figure responsible for the undead. But I might need more help from you. I've heard you're all a capable sort. At least somewhat. Be honest with me, how true is that?
I mean, we're all still here after the zombies attacked. No one else is. Shows we're at least different, yeah.
Different enough? And far home? How did you feel about that?
What about Firehelm?
He looks down and a smile kind of cracks across his face. Looks back at you. Think we both know what I'm talking about.
Give a nervous look to the group.
Don't forget that it is Bralos who gave me word to come here. Well,
I mean, I'll speak for me. I didn't like what the church was doing there now.
what about what you did there? Or is
I
that
think-
something you try to forget?
The Butcher of Farhelm!
I look to the group for any sort of signal.
Eric's just gonna say, oh. Yeah, oh. 1 second. What
Yeah,
happened in Farham was terrible. Whatever took over the people, they weren't themselves. Nobody wants to kill people.
He nods a bit.
Picking up on this is gonna be like, yeah, it not the fault that they did it without knowing. It was whoever released that. Everyone hurting each other.
We took a bit of damage ourselves, and you'll look over at Teak.
You see Svarg kind of shifts his weight to one side. And he reaches his arm over his back to pull the axe off his back.
We is dying here tonight. We on a die and
Grabs it in two hands and stares at you all. As do or say anything.
Eric's gonna take a step back.
I'll take a step in front of the group.
Teak also steps up right behind Gustav.
What you intending to do with that, priest?
He shifts his weight back to the other side. Lowers his axe and leans it up against a post in the room. I know who you are. Don't really know who I am. But if we're going to come to some sort of arrangement, this unsteady alliance has to be more clear.
Fine. What do you want to know? What do you want to hear?
You don't like the New Dawn, do you?
No, sir. Tried to burn a friend of mine. It's succeeded in burning an alibi.
Eric's gonna like put his hand on Gustav's shoulder.
And the rest of you? What have they done to you? What have we done to you?
We all share the experience of having the same friend burn.
You burned them alive.
Where we go when we see you, Teak, is either angry or scared. She wants to run and hide. Only Brother Paul been different.
Brother Paul. He's one of the good ones.
You're implying there's more.
I'm sure there are. But who knows? Over time, the wills of man have an interesting way to shape up. If I'm going to do this for you, there needs to be a sort of mutual trust between us. Brother Paul can't be involved. You understand?
Eric will nod.
So, we not gonna see Brother Paul again?
You may not. Can't say for certain. These are interesting times in the world. But in order for me to do this for you, there is something else I need you all to do for me.
Eric's gonna look over at the team.
What's that?
In the north, near the mountains between Hailfall and the Bear, lies a mountain. They call it the Shadowed Mountain, for it's so large it casts a shadow over the rest of the land. I need you to go there. I need you to tell me what you find.
Where would we find you after we go there?
I have that covered. But first is whether or not you'll do it.
Eric will nod.
We will.
We've come so far, we might as well.
For Cinder, we do.
Alright. He reaches into a pouch that he has in on his belt and pulls out a small, shallow metal bowl and holds it in his palm. Just so you understand, things like what I'm about to do with your friend are never a sure thing. You understand that even if it doesn't work, you still need to do this for me.
Eric will nod.
He looks to the rest of you.
Teak will nod after she sees Eric. Agreed.
We understand.
Best chance we got.
All right. And he walks up to you all. He approaches you first, Gustav. Your hand.
Hold out my human hand.
Grabs your hand, and on the edge of the bowl, there's like a little point, like a little spike. And he pokes it into your finger, and you see a little pool of blood dribble down into the bowl.
How much damage?
You don't take any damage. It's
You die.
incredibly
The team
minimal.
finally got you.
In fact, after he does it, he uses a little bit of his magic to close the wound.
Nice.
And he goes to Eric next, I guess. Just Eric standing next to your hand.
Eric will hold out his hand and try and poke the thing.
Oh, you're gonna poke it yourself.
Yes. Because he
Okay.
saw the other guy do it, so you might as well just do it.
All right, you poke your hand in it, and he does the same thing for you. Teak next. Your hand.
Teak takes out her claw and stabs herself. No, I'm kidding.
Right to the heart. She's dead.
She hands him her hand and she goes, "Oh."
She hands him her hand.
Yeah, she just gives. Well, she slices. She says,
It's like a Lego. You can just take it off and put it back on.
"Be
When she
careful of
sliced herself, she sliced off her entire hand and just throws it into the bowl.
be careful of Teak claws. Teak not put her fingers back on yet."
Gives you a stern nod. Gives you the same treatment. Then he kind of kneels down next to Philia. Your hand.
Let's hope this doesn't mess up the disguise as she puts up her hand.
You put your hand out, and when he grabs your hand by the wrist, and since you're a dwarf, his hand definitely goes to your disguise a little bit, and just because dwarves are a little bit more portly than a little forest sprite, whatever the fuck you are. And he pokes your hand and does the same thing. As he's knelt down, looking next to you, he just kind of softly says, "You sure you don't want me to look at that wound?"
Eric's just gonna
Philia,
go ahead.
Philia lets down into disguise.
There she is. Can't say I've ever seen anything like you before. What exactly are you?
I'm a Gathlin.
Are you from here?
Sometimes I wish I was. The kind here has not treated oddities as well as I expected.
Sounds like this place. Oddities aren't very welcome. Where's the wound at? Let me have a look at it.
Philia will show him her arm.
It's all kind of festered and infected a bit. Sets the bowl down for a moment, and he puts both of his hands over your wound. You see a little glow from his hands, and when he pulls them up, your wound looks like it's closed up. That was easy, wasn't it?
She'll like kind of like hesitantly like pull her arm back and like look at it and give a small curtsy. Thank you. I'm
You
sorry
can't really tell if you're a child or not. So when he like goes to stand back up with the bowl in the hand, and he kind of does that thing you do to kids where he like brushes your head a little bit. You know, he like tussles your hair at the top. Then he stands back. What were you saying to him, Philip?
Thank you. Sorry for doubting you.
It's fine. You would have doubted me too. After all, this is a unusual alliance. And you see when he stands up, he holds the bowl in one hand and waves his other over the bowl and makes some gestures. And as you guys are watching this, it almost looks like the blood's flowing upward. And as the little pools of blood do flow up, they come into making a figure. And you see there's like a little blood figure of Gustav, Teak, Eric, and Philia. And they're kind of mimicking whatever movements you're doing right now.
Damn, is that how handsome I look? God.
Well, that takes care of one part of the problem. Now, he reaches into his satchel again, pulls out another object. It's kind of wrapped up piece of paper, and you see he places the bowl back in his pouch. And this time it's two cylindrical objects wrapped around. Looks like and he hands it to you, Eric.
Eric will take it.
Once you reach the Shadowed Mountain, rumors tell of an ancient civilization that once existed inside of the mountain.
Eric's eyes
I want you
twinkle.
to investigate. And once you find anything of interest, or if there's anything there at all, you can use that scroll to contact me.
Eric will nod.
Now, seeing as we've only just met, I'll be keeping an eye on you all, which is what the bowl is for. Do you have any other questions?
What you just give us, the scroll, can we only use once, or can we use multiple times?
I've made sure that it's able to be used up to 5 times.
Eric will nod. I have a question.
What's your question?
You said you knew who we were. Does that mean you knew what, or you know what they were doing there? You know, when they set fire and stuff.
I do.
Why?
Your friend, knew things that people didn't want her to know. I'm afraid I can't say much more than that.
Would you do the same?
To her?
Aragonot.
It depends. Maybe if I had no other option. But there were other ways to handle that situation. Some people turn to brute force sooner than they need to.
Aragonot.
Now,
And
in
this thing that
regards,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
The thing that she knew, it wasn't knowledge on alchemical stuff, was it?
It did not help her situation at all, but I'm afraid her knowledge went beyond such things. That is the real reason.
Aragonot. I mean, you're going to be watching us anyway, so I suppose you'll know what we all mingle with.
He nodded. I'm not here to murder anyone for practicing things of an alchemical nature. I do believe it can have its benefits, but in particular situations like the one we're in now, it can be used for not so noble of purposes.
Aragonot.
It just depends on where you are. I'm afraid the same thing can be said of faith and magical life. When you look at places like Iron Court, then you understand. It's almost the opposite situation there. A few bad eggs can make a bad name for a lot of people.
I think we're all learning that. And he's gonna look over at the rest of the group.
It's true.
You said we weren't gonna see Brother Paul again, but if you see him, could you tell him I'm sorry.
I'll let him know.
Also tell Brother Paul to be careful.
I will. I wish the same for him. He's a young man. Easily influenced. But he has a good heart. Now, in order to help your friend, I'll need your help.
Aragonot.
First thing is, can't be sure your friend even wants to come back. But if you knew him well, maybe you have some things to do or say that can entice him. Any of you?
He's gonna look at Gustav.
Yeah. I'd say I do.
Kip will pop his head out.
We all do, really.
Good. That's a good thing. It'll give us better chances. I'll need 3 of you to help me.
I'll step forward.
Teak steps forward as well.
Eric steps forward.
Dang. Poor Philia and Pip just getting left out of the.
Philia
root
only cares when he's dead and she can cover his body in honey. When he's about to come to life, she could care less.
Okay, I don't know what I can do. Philia can't really be like, oh yeah, I knew Cinder really well. Philia can be like, Cinder took care of my duck for like a good week for when I was gone.
Pip is a sacred creature. We cannot risk his life.
No.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
Ophelia,
Okay.
on the other hand, sacrifice that bitch.
Oh, good one.
So you all quickly step forward, and Swarg gives you a kind of solemn nod and walks over to Cinder, and he starts to undo all bindings on Cinder. And eventually has him freed and lays him down on the ground. If you would join me, please.
Go up.
Teak walks up as well.
Eric, I do believe you're the one who's making the exchange,
Eric will
correct? Alright. Join me. I want you to kneel down next to him. Put your hands upon his head.
Eric will follow the instructions.
And then Svarig kind of stands behind you. You're essentially kneeling down, putting your hands on Cinder's head, and he's standing behind you with his hands on the side of Eric's head. Gustav,
It's a Congo chain.
you knew him best.
I.
So, what can you say or do for? And as for game rules, I'll explain this to you guys. Essentially, what I'm gonna have the three of you do is I want you to think about what you can do or say to try and help Cinder find his way back. And essentially what you're going to do is pick a skill that you have that you think correlates best to what you're going to
Oh, that's difficult.
do to try and help Cinder. You know, whether that be maybe it could be as simple as a diplomacy check to tell a great story of a memory that you have of Cinder or something like that, and try and, you know, make him remember what it's like to be alive and with his friends. Or it could be anything. It could be a heal check. Maybe you want to burn some herbs or something that have some healing properties or something of that sort to try and facilitate Cinder's return. You know, it could be as yeah, if you want to stuff cinnamon sticks into his mouth.
Yeah, no, Teak was going to rub. Teak was gonna rub cinnamon under his nose and try to do a survival check.
It's gonna be something like, I'm gonna sell your sword for like 1 gold and then throw it away.
You could totally do that if you want to do like an intimidation check to try and like bully him into coming back. You'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna sell your precious fucking sword. Whatever you guys think is gonna work for you.
I'm gonna do an appraisal check. I'm gonna take everything valuable off you and sell it for dirt cheap money and then throw it away.
So yeah, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick while you guys think about what you want to do.
What do we do?
You got this. I
Teak
believe in
is
you.
going to rub cinnamon. Waft her own scent towards Fisty and hope that it's strong enough to bring him back from the dead, and hope that allows her to make a survival roll for that.
My highest roll is a craft check, but I can't think of how I would use alchemy to entice Cinder back.
Can you make wine with your alchemical skills?
I sure can.
Cinder loved to drink. Just pour some. Be like,
I have tears to wine.
yeah, it's cry, and then as you cry, your tears turn into wine. And then
It means I can put my potion into anything, like a bucket of water, and it'll be wine.
oh,
Actually, I think I did do that. Me and Cinder had a drink.
yeah.
Aw, the good old times.
And so Tink is going to utilize her stink plus the smell of cinnamon. Gustav?
I'm going to try to convince him in an aggressive way. Hopefully aggressive enough that can be counted as an intimidation check.
You slap
Just
his
punch
face
him.
around.
I challenge thee to a duel.
I'm back.
I slap him alive. Strength check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my
Okay,
tears to
bye.
wine thing. Craft check.
So what you guys figure anything out yet?
Mhm.
You did? You all did?
Yes.
Gustav?
Yep.
You're going first?
Alright, I can.
Alright, what's Gustav doing?
I will kneel down next to. I guess we're already kneeling down next to Cinder, right?
Yeah.
Cinder. This whole thing started when you and I left the Banner Fox together on your recommendation. Since then, we've been through so much, and we've so much left to do. One way or another, I owe you a lot. And I'm gonna try to find Cinder's cards.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of rifle through his pockets and you find his stack of cards in there.
Is he doing a stealth of hand check? What's going on?
I'm gonna try to sort of hold them in front of his face a little aggressively. There's a
Show
lot
him in
of
his-
questions you have that haven't been answered yet, right? These mean something to you, right? They will lead you somewhere, right? I need you back. We all do. To find the answers to your questions and ours together. So come back already. Can't leave this battle before it's done. If and when we go, we'll go together.
Damn. Alright, what skill was that you're using?
Intimidate?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Consider that
I believe. Ooh.
Hey, that's not bad. So yeah, Gustav's getting a little emotional. He's holding these cards in front of Cinder. And when he's done, Svarog kind of gives another solemn nod. Turns his attention to Teak next. Gives you just a singular nod, Teak, go.
Teak nods, and she's going to run and grab a bit of cinnamon off the cart
Okay.
and kind of rub it against her wrist. And then press then this combination of just cinnamon and then her wrist sort of against Cinder's chest. And then she's going to be like, you were becoming Teak's friend. Teak knew she could trust you. You understood why Teak was the way she was, and you defend Teak when Eric tried to make Teak take bath. And we still have cinnamon that you need to sell, right? So, you should come back. So, I have someone to help Teak when Teak not want to take bath, and also Teak will throw away the cinnamon if you don't. And she's going to do the the combination of like the smell of her hand and the cinnamon, a survival check so that he
Okay.
familiar sense.
Yeah. Roll me that survival check. Okay. Not bad. Yeah, the smell of cinnamon and Teak's wrists, which smell of just dirt and feces and just absolute work. You actually don't even need to revive Cinder anymore with the help. Yeah, it's like super smelling salts, and Cinder actually just wakes up back alive again from the horrid smell coming off of Teak's wrists.
That was the plan all along.
My good God. She's
Nah,
a
I'm just
genius.
kidding. All right, Eric. This time, Sparring just kind of says your name under his breath.
Right. Well, Cinder, we've been through quite a lot now, and it's hard to just pick one memory, but I guess this one that might not be too important to you, but it was important to me. I think it was nighttime when we were all setting up camp, and I tried making you wine, well, shitty wine, with alchemy, and well, for the first time I thought I could actually have fun with this skill that was starting to become a little bit more scary with everything that was going on. The rest of us, we're all kind of stuck in the muds. We need you, Cinder. Let's all have a nice warm meal, and I'll make you some more shitty wine. Come on back, Cinder. I'm gonna use a craft alchemy check.
To make him wine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers to wine.
So you have the wine already, though, right?
It's just like you just put the thing into like water and it makes wine. Yeah.
Okay, so you're like making the wine right there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, make me the check.
Oh, thank God.
Nice. All right. So you guys all give your words and helping out with a few moments, it almost becomes a cycle, and you start seeing this dark, pulsing energy, and it looks like it's leaving Cinder and cycling into Eric. And this continues on for a few minutes, and you just see this happening. And as this is going on, Eric, I mean, you feel this energy cycling through you, and it kind of hurts almost as it's headed into you. And
Eric has anime nosebleed.
yeah, pretty much. And by the end of this cycle, you see Eric looks a little haggard, and at some point, the light cycle just pushes into Cinder's body, and the dark energy kind of just rests within Eric. And kind of before your eyes, you can see some slight wrinkles and stuff appear on Eric's skin. Eric, you have aged 5 years.
I'm 29.
And you also take a permanent loss of 1 constitution.
Okay.
Yeah. And after it's all over, Cinder's just kind of laying there on the ground. Svarig sits down afterwards, looking tired. And Eric is just kind of hanging out. What are you gonna lay down, Eric, or anything? Or are you just sitting there?
Yeah, as soon as he can, as soon as Svarig sits down, he'll probably assume it's over, and then probably just face plant into the ground and just lay down.
Okay.
Teak will go to
Wait.
Eric.
Yeah.
Ensure that he's not dead.
His hair just becomes white.
Sorry, Teak is going over to Cinder.
No, to Eric.
Because
To Eric.
Eric
Sorry.
passed out. She wants to
Yeah,
make sure
yeah,
that he didn't.
Yeah,
He didn't pass
Cinder.
out, he just laid down, I think.
Cinder's laying there, and Eric kind of lays down. Teak goes to check. Gustav, are you doing anything, or just kind of patiently wait?
Looks like Eric's taken care of. I'll stick with Cinder.
Philia.
We'll go to Cinder. Ophelia will go to Eric.
Okay.
Eric is wrinkly old man with white hair now.
He's only 29. They're all 29 years old. With white hair.
I just like white
29,
hair, man.
but he does have a streak of white hair now.
Ooh.
He's gonna look
Hipster.
over at he's gonna lift his head and look over at I forgot his name again. Svarig. And he's like, did it work?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, thank you. for
You're
trying.
welcome. I did all I could. It's up to your friend now. Hopefully your words got through to him.
You aren't happen to you're not in the business looking for a son, are you?
Excuse me.
Adopt me. I will have 2 fathers, Lord Wyvern's parents, Svarig.
Given the gray streak in your hair, you could be the father one day.
Oh my god. Now Ophelia really does look like Eric's kid as they walk around.
Tika shared that Eric is alive. Will offer to help him up so that
He's just gonna lie down. He's just like, no, it's fine. I'm just gonna rest here for a second.
And then Teak will nod and she'll go over by Gustav's side to watch Cinder.
Okay.
Philia's gonna take out her bedroll from her backpack and lay it down for like Eric to sleep in.
Okay, yeah, you tuck Eric in. Cinder.
Yes.
Cinder, you awaken. It's dark. You can't see anything. And as you wake up, you find yourself already in motion. You're running. You're scared. You don't know why, but you're running. It's so dark you can't see anything around you. So you keep running?
Yeah. Do I turn around and look to see what I'm running from?
You can look behind you, but you see nothing except darkness. You're kind of panicked, confused. You don't really know where you are or how you got there.
Try to remember how I casted a light spell once with dancing lights and try to illuminate the place.
Okay. You try the best you can to call upon the light, eventually reaching in to your jacket for your card. But when you do, they're not there.
Just call out, where am I?
You call.
Is anyone there?
Your voice echoes as if you're in an empty chasm. The only response is the sound of your own voice echoing.
Do I still have like my sword or anything?
You reach for your sword, but it's not there.
Okay. I'm just gonna assume that this is death. And just sit down.
Okay. So you stop running, kind of give in and sit down. What do you do?
Just hunch over.
Kind of grab your legs, sitting fetal position style.
Yep. And just kind of begin to cry.
All right. Yeah, you kind of sitting there alone in the darkness, crying. And after a few minutes of Cinder crying alone in the darkness, you hear something faint and distant sounding.
Do I know which direction it's coming from? Is it coming from a direction or is it just everywhere?
Cinder. Cinder, is that you?
Who's there?
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
I don't know where I am.
You don't. But I can hear you so clearly now.
Who are you?
Reginald is doing the crying for Cinder.
Where are you, Cinder? What does it look like?
There's nothing here. It's just darkness. Emptiness everywhere.
Oh no. My boy. I'm coming to get you. Stay right there. And you see, when we go back to Cinder, he's in the same position. But he looks maybe about 8 years old. Small, still got long hair and little tiny tusks creeping out of his lip. Tears rolling down his face. And that's where we'll end today's session.
That was amazing!
Oh,
That was
wow.
adorable. That's baby Cinder.
Aww.
Yay!
So we're gonna have an old Eric and a young Cinder on our team.
Next
That'd be
time,
pretty great.
about childhood traumas.
Billy is not the only kid-looking character in our group.
Damn. Death is scary.
Yeah.
Just darkness.
Speak for yourself. I got amazing drawings out of that.
I don't understand, why was your death so scary?
He's got layers.
It's scary being alone in the darkness. For so long.
Aw.
This is the longest time a player character has been dead so far in the campaign.
That's true. That's true.
Not bad. Not bad, everybody.
Good session.
You live to
Yay.
fight another day.
Yep.
I thought we were gonna fight Svarig. Take that,
Right.
the axe.
Yeah,
Wanted a
I'm dead.
piece of the old butcher.
Yeah.
He went like anime, like, I've heard stories of you and I want to test you.
Show me your